They busting up.
All right, welcome everybody. You know, the usual Sundays from 6 to 8, we like to do this thing we call Welcome Northwest Austin Council, where we welcome you to the West Side. Just West Side people talking West Side things.
That's right.
We do this from 6 to 8 on Sundays. Listen, there's a variety of ways in which you can tune in with us. We got the Facebook, we got the YouTube, we have the Zoom. So it's whatever you most comfortable with. And to interact, all we ask is that you leave a comment. If you're on the Facebook or YouTube, we can see them. We can actually post them up so we can have discussion around them. If you're on the Zoom, you already know you could just tune right in. Just jump in the conversation at any time, man. You disagree, agree, whatever. It's all about conversation so that we can move the community forward. Hope everybody had a great holiday. You know,
Yep.
I'm sure y'all about tired of eating turkey right now. You know, and so hopefully y'all cooking. You know what I mean?
Turkey
Other
time
than
over.
that, you know, yeah, it is. You know, now it's time to prepare for Christmas. But anyway, typically, like I always do, you know, I like to start off by asking Steve, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling it going into the Christmas mood now.
Yeah.
We got, Christmas gonna be here real quick, and the year's gonna be completed, and we got a lot of reflecting to do. A lot of reflecting so that we can build, grow, and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on. Go ahead, Thomas.
Like you say, you give it to the Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody, when you hear Christmas, what is the first thing you think about?
For me,
Already.
merchandise. What did he say?
Okay.
What did you say, Tommy?
Okay, all the money comes. But money comes present, but nobody think about Jesus
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's the wrong
That's a
thing.
good point.
Everybody Christmas has been commercialized.
Yeah, for a long time now.
Yeah,
For real. For a long time now, Christmas has been heavily commercialized. Listen, I mean, growing up, stores weren't open on Thanksgiving. You know, this is the first time in a long time that stores were actually closed. You know what I mean? Because what was it? I mean, for the past could be 7 to 10 years now. Yeah, this is only because, and then that's because most of the places made most money they ever made in 2020, man. During the pandemic, a lot of these stores made more money than they had made in 2019 and probably a couple years combined, which is crazy. So you go figure.
People were forced to clear the shelves.
Go figure. So they shut down this year, but prior to, I thought it was sad how commercialism had taken over the holidays, where on Thursdays they were doing the Black Friday sales. At 6 p.m. you had people, supposed to be spending time with family, but you had more people going out to shop on Thanksgiving because the store, when that started, now when again as a shorty, stuff was closed. Everything was closed. We was able to sit at home with family, bounce around a friend's house and things like that. And then they really commercialized it to the point where on Thursday, the day of Thanksgiving, where you're supposed to be with family, you in somebody's stores cramped up trying to get a TV.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's everything's been highly
crazy.
Commercialized. It's I think tonight, first day of Hanukkah is tomorrow. I think it is. It's not tonight. But that's one. I don't see Hanukkah being super commercialized.
Well,
right.
I'm just saying.
What is Hanukkah? Is that a Jewish holiday?
Absolutely.
Okay, it's a Jewish holiday.
Yeah, it's a Jewish holiday, but if you think about it.
But what? So how would you? I mean, if you commercialized it, would you ask people to spend money on it? I mean, I don't. So how would it be commercialized if it could be?
What are the? How many days of Hanukkah is it? 12 days. Yeah, I think it's 12 days.
Yeah.
12 days of Hanukkah, and each day is a different traditional process or gift or something. That's even more.
Mm.
You think the stores would be? You got to go out and
Oh,
get
okay.
gifts every day.
Okay, I see
For
what you're
12 days,
Mm.
for 12 people, maybe. I don't know. It's just strange that when we see it, that it's all about Santa Claus and toys and this and that, and everybody stocks the stores up. And every year somebody buying another Christmas tree, like the Christmas tree before that was made out of plastic, didn't work.
I'm definitely gonna get me a very small one. I don't want a big tree. I'm gonna get a plastic one.
But you know what they're doing now?
That's maybe
With the live
3 feet.
trees, they're buying them back.
They're buying trees back now?
If you buy a live tree, they'll buy them back from you because you can plant that tree back in the ground again. You can replant. I didn't know that all these years. I didn't know that once you cut it from the stump or the root, you can replant it. And that's what they're doing. I'm like, bad idea.
Hey, that's sustainable practice. That's cool. I mean, it'd be nice to look out here and see a community full of Christmas trees. To be honest, not decorated, but I mean, obviously if they're gonna replant them so that people, it's like repurposing. Like that old idea of what's your man's that was at the Museum of Science and the Museum of Science and Industry Day. Yeah, man. What was that? What was that? What was that repurposing machine? What was it called? The Fab Lab, the refabrication for the refabrication station. And he was saying that they were trying to put these. He was trying to make Chicago a refabrication hub, essentially where you could take your old unwanted, whether it was like your dressers or tables, what have you, and it could be broken down and repurposed into another item that you wanted. Whatever happened to that, man?
We gotta reach out to Dan, see what's going on with that. This Museum of Science and Industry Fab Lab Makerspace.
Absolutely. I thought that was, man, listen, that's what we need to be moving towards. When we're talking about having a vision for our community, for me, my vision of the community, and I don't see Barry on, but Barry, he loved it. He loved Black Panther. You talk about Wakanda a lot and how the thing about Wakanda for me is the technological advancements that they had, how they were head and shoulders above everybody else. For me, personally, I'm like, man, and I know this was something that you talked about damn near 10 years ago, and I wish they had to listen to you when you were talking about technology and where it was going. But honestly, I would love to see Austin be a technological hub, man. There's no reason why the what we call it, what's the area,
Silicon Valley.
No, we got a tech hub here in Chicago.
Down on Goose Island.
Goose Island, the one, Fulton Marketplace.
Yeah.
They got Google and all that stuff going on down there. No reason why communities like Austin, big communities that have a lot of resources and space, shouldn't be a tech. I would love to see Austin be a tech hub that also enforces sustainability. So that, when we looking at things like a Fab Lab and a makerspace where we are repurposing things, where we're no longer being wasteful. I would love to see that, man. That's the vision. That's what I want to see.
Well, that probably would be a great space down there on Central and Madison.
Oh,
things like that,
yeah.
The old image school.
So what they doing with that, man?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Nothing at all.
Anybody know what they're doing? Please let us know. What was that?
That was
Barry.
Oh, that was Barry. Oh, Barry, what you doing? I was just looking for you. I'm like, Barry must be out because of Hanukkah.
Sorry.
When does Hanukkah start, Barry?
Hanukkah? I think it started today or
tonight.
Yesterday.
Yes, tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah. I'm just Googling.
I'll tell police how I found out.
Hey, we gotta stay close to our brothers.
Yeah.
Sammy Davis was all in there. But what's going on with you, Barry? What you know goods from the holiday and all? We just trying to brief a little bit. You know, it's a wind down period. We already said going into the next year, we're gonna start putting a lot of tasks to action. You know, and one of the things we do want to talk about, and I'm going to bring up at the end or towards the middle, what would you guys like for us to go on and to look at and talk about, and who would you like to see on the show? Because we got some people lined up, but we want to know what you guys think. You there?
Well, I would like to have somebody on to talk about climate change and how it affects the community.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, why don't we have somebody on that's going to talk about all this money that's supposed to be coming to Chicago and how it's going to affect the Austin community?
We're gonna have a congressman on for that one, and then we're gonna ask him to bring somebody on to talk in depth about it.
Wait, what money are you talking about? What are you talking about from the infrastructure bill that they passed?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be so much money coming to Chicago, so why not find out how it's going to affect the Austin community?
Absolutely. So we're
There's a lot of things that need to be done in Austin.
yeah. We talk about. I was just telling DeAndre the other day. I said Austin to Laramie, and I'll just say Madison Street, Garfield End, from Hamlin all the way back to Costner. Those areas have been blighted, or the way they are, for over 50 years. But there was a good day and a good time down there. I remember people would just go up on North on not on North Avenue, but on Madison to the movie theater, the bowling alley, the skating rink. You know, we had 2 skating rinks right in the area. You know, and you could just walk there. Those were the days where we took a lot of things for granted. And now that they've been gone for over 40 years or more, 30, 40 years or more, it's kind of like, man, what happened?
I remember on the weekend, when you dress up a little bit to go down to the state. You know,
Right, you remember? You
on
go
nothing,
to
you
you
know?
know, exactly. You know, it's all good. You know, it was. I was just telling them the same thing. You could just walk out your house, walk down the street, and you right there. You know, you right there.
Hey, Tamika, saw you just jumped in. How was your holiday?
It was well. How about yours?
It was good. It was good. Just spend time with family, Liam. That was it. You know, yeah, literally was it. I did not do anything. I bought a new video game, so might be wrapped up in video games for a little minute. So if y'all call me, you know where I'm at. I'm at home on the game.
Well, I did good too because I didn't buy no camera equipment for Black Friday.
You didn't. You say you didn't buy a camera?
So you
No
ain't
camera
buying
equipment.
nothing
You
for
know
Black
that's days
Friday.
for me.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
man. If we
Yeah.
can get everybody to understand Black Friday is a black day every day in the neighborhood, we can pull some things together.
Black Friday is just a commercial way to make sure that the prices are so low when people start returning gifts for Christmas that they can only get more profit.
Mm.
Well,
What about Did you all go out? Did you all go out and support for Small Business Saturday?
Uh, I'm sorry, somebody else is talking. What did you say about the small business?
No, I'm just saying. Did anybody go out and support for Small Business Saturday?
I
Never
did.
heard of it.
Yeah, you didn't. You never heard of Small Business Saturday?
Not at all.
Oh yeah. So typically, yeah, the Saturday. Obviously, we got Black Friday. Then you got Small Business Saturday, the day after Black Friday, obviously, and then tomorrow is Cyber Monday. That's where you're gonna get all the deals online. But Small Business Saturday is just a way for obviously, like with the big box does the Friday, right? All their stuff is on sale. So the small businesses, obviously they can't compete with the prices that those larger organizations can or corporations can dish out. But what they'll do is they'll have, little events, and at minimum they'll give you a trinket or something for coming and checking out some of their wares. I bring it up because Saturday I did some small business Saturday shopping, and I went and I supported a guy from the Austin community. His name is Roman Morrow. He has these I Am Austin shirts. So as you can see, I bought the one with the orange kente cloth on it, which I think is a pretty nice looking shirt. And I also got some socks. Now I didn't put the socks on, but they got some I Am Austin socks, and he basically turned Austin into a acronym for abundant, unique, soulful, top notch, innovative, and needed. So, I thought that's really a shameless plug for him.
That's tight.
How much was it? How much did it cost?
You know what? I paid. I think so. I probably paid too much, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there. But I think I got like 2 pairs of socks, and I got this hoodie. I think I paid like $60. I gave him $60. So I don't know. I think this hoodie. Yeah, no. I mean, listen. It's support for sure. I've definitely paid more for hoodies and things like that. So, but yeah, I paid about $65, and then he threw in a T-shirt for my lady though, and it said, my worth is the new black. So so I mean, overall, it's worthwhile. And I think it's always good to support people in the community. I would say I try my damnedest to purchase from Black owned suppliers and things like that as much as I can. Don't always work that way, right? But I think it's important. Say it again.
Where is this store?
This was, it was in Forest Park. It was in Forest Park. It was right off of Madison and Des Plaines. I believe the address is 7451 West Madison. So right in Forest Park. I actually walked there. Now I live off Austin and Roosevelt, so I actually walked to go pick this up and walk back. He talking about, come on, man. He said, I'll see you in about a couple hours. I'm like, man, that's a little hour walk, man. He couldn't believe I walked it. I'm like, oh, we got to get some exercise, man. I'm a big guy now. I've been a big guy for a minute, and I keep playing and let my weight fluctuate. So I really need to, get on to it in a major way. So yeah, if y'all listening, man, walk, run, skip, hop, jump, drive, whatever you're gonna do, go show some support to your local small business, or a Black-owned business, and we ain't gotta wait till Small Business Saturday to do it. We can do it any day, So
That's right. Every opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we talked about, hey, get this one, Ken. We talked about last week. We talked about what your dad had brought up about the toilet paper, about selling toilet paper to create some sense of an economic engine. And I said that, when he brought it up some years ago, I'm thinking, man, toilet paper, Butch, seriously. I mean, it made sense. Everybody got to have it. But then when he had no idea about COVID, and now I'm like, man, Butch was right. This toilet paper thing would have been the right thing, and still can be the right thing.
Man.
You just have to develop it properly, get the sales and the distribution and the warehousing and the marketing of it all down pat. I'm a firm believer in asking people before you try to sell them anything. Ask them, give them a sample, let them try it out.
Well, the question is, if Northwest Austin Council produced toilet paper, would you all listening buy a roll for 75 cents to support the organization in the community? That's the question.
I'll buy a roll.
There you go. I think, yeah, I think the ask would be more or less just, would you buy a roll, and would you ask one person that you know to buy a roll? You know what I mean? It's like that. If nothing else, you know what I'm saying? I think we could easily reach 100 people, right? Turn that 75 cents into $750 and keep it, and keep going, and grow it like that, because that's all we need. All we need in terms of support is a yes, and then to ask somebody else to do it.
But we need to look at things from an investment point of view. You're investing in yourself. With that 75-cent purchase, we need to come up with ways that we can flip that, turn that, move that, so that the person that's giving that 75 cents get more than just toilet paper at the end of the day. They can get, I don't know. We talked about what are those? What do you call those? Not a bank, but what is it, DeAndre?
What do you mean? Credit union?
Credit unions, yeah. We talked about credit unions. We talked about stores that are no longer in the community, but should be in the community and run by community people, things that they want. Everybody looks at the big box, but problem with that is you gotta pay membership, you gotta go there, if it's right down the street, I'm sure you go there a lot more than you would go to the big box if it's a reasonable price and it's right near you. So sustainability comes into play when you're talking about just basic purchases. Maybe it just needs. Maybe we can't compete with the potato chips and all that other stuff that we don't even need, but maybe we could create our own sustainable stores for just the basic things we need. Toiletries and what have you. But you know what? That's part of the issue right now. We don't know what we want. Before I had this talk with Bill Stovall, about how we had stores in our communities. We had a store with a deli in the back. They sold, all the basic things, Pampers, whatever you needed, canned goods, fresh meats, vegetables. I don't know how they got the vegetables. They got they used to have the vegetables too. But those things were like readily at your beck and call, right? Right at we call them corner stores, and they kind of disappeared. Well, yeah, we talk about wait a minute, back that up. When you said co-op,
Yeah, the co-op.
who's
Oh, that's Bill.
Oh, Bill, you on?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk.
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead. Let's talk about that a little more. Co-op.
Okay, I was out with the people in Ogdale Garden. They got over 5,000 people out there, and I was out there the peacemaker was out there trying to assist them about opening a store out there. And the store that they were trying to open was a co-op, community ran.
Right.
And it's over 5,000 people out there. They don't even have a store. And so we was out there, and so that's why it came up, the idea that they brought to us was about doing a co-op. And that kind of stuck with me, and I've been trying to pass this on to other people. And so, the people in the community are always speaking about they won't invest, because we don't have a store. They won't invest. And then, you be saying, who won't invest? So I think the community, the people themselves, should invest in their own community. And if we get this thing started with a co-op, we can address the food desert, the restaurant business. We can address a lot of different things with a co-op. So that's something that should be brought to the table, and that's something that should be discussed.
Let me ask you this.
I agree. I think that makes a lot of sense, Bill.
Let let me ask you this: in this day and time, where everybody's going online, would it still be feasible to do a co-op
Yes,
or both?
because you can set it up so you can the food and stuff can be delivered just like other people, other stores and everything. You can set it up to do it, with your grocery
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is, you can have it delivered. You can set it up the way you want to set it up.
I like that. I like that because
And you can buy online. Right.
I like that because it reminded me of back when I was little, where they used to pack your groceries and then they have somebody bring them to the house. And remember the guys used
Right.
Yeah, that's what I did as a young boy.
Oh
So
yeah?
did I. They had the big bicycle with the big basket on the front.
Right. And they used to
Oh, I had a cardboard box on my shoulder with groceries in it.
No, I had a bicycle.
Oh dang! And Barry's living a hard knock life.
Barry had a good pair of
The
shoes.
bicycle had a little wheel on the front, big wheel on the back, and the front had a big basket that they could put the grocery in and you wouldn't deliver it to the house.
You went high tech.
It wasn't my bike either.
But no, I mean think about that. That's something old that's new now. It's new again. Because a lot of people don't even realize that's the way it used to be. You probably paid a little extra for it.
Well, right now, everything is so complicated. The old stuff is much simpler.
Well, times was much simpler too.
That's right. And it
Yeah.
seems to me that that's the direction we should be going in, is simpler times, because the problem with these big systems is when a problem comes up, when they solve the problem, everything gets bigger, more complex, and leads to bigger and bigger problems.
Well, I think it's about execution, though. These ideas are grand, and they will work, but you got to put them into action, though. That's the only thing. Because I'm even thinking about myself, how I have this idea, and it was passed on to me from somebody that I know, and he was discussing it with me, how he wanted to take a bunch of these smaller community-based organizations, put them under one roof, and create essentially like a multinational, so to speak. And that just means a bunch of different organizations that are at least working together under this roof, where the community can find all of its needs in one place, right? Something like that is just.
Why go international? Why not?
I said multi. Yeah, I said multinational. I said multinational, not international. I'm just saying, like, because the structure would be like a multinational company. How you have all of these different brands and organizations that are working together. They achieve synergy by working together, utilizing their core competencies and things like that. So that's just a structure.
Why not the people that we're connected to and their organization?
Right. What I'm saying is right. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the small community-based organizations. So a NAC, a GTW, a who else we know that's like a small Westside Rising.
Yeah,
Westside Rising, drug-free, drug campaign for drug peacemakers. You take all of these organizations, these smaller organizations, put them under one roof. Now you have one location, satellite location, so to speak, where community members can go into and they can find all the things they're looking for under one roof. And now, because you have all of these organizations that's coming together, you can bid for higher level grants, You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, something like that might seem complicated, but for me, it's almost like I see it as a three-step process. Go to the organizations. Hey, you want to you like this idea? You want to be in on this? Okay, cool. Find the location. Hey, we want to house all of these organizations under this location. Find the grants that work for it. Boom, we in business. I don't think it's that difficult to do any of these things. We just got to execute.
Yeah, I mean, but isn't that kind of like similar to what Austin coming together is doing?
No,
No.
because also coming together, they work with the different organs. They not all these organizations ain't under one roof.
Right.
Now, what I'm saying is you got all the organizations in one roof where a community member can walk through and go to room by room and they see, look, we got some I write grants. Hey, Alexandria, we gonna have to, I don't know how we gonna connect, okay, but we need to figure this out. We gotta because we gotta get that number from you. Yes, ma'am. Hey, I love that. Thank you. Love that spirit. So what I'm saying is you gotta you under one roof, you walk through the door, you say, I got problems with addiction. Boom, you go right there. I need a job. Boom, you go right there. I need help organizing my block. Boom, you go right there. I need help putting events together. Boom, you go right there. Everything you're looking for is in one location when you walk through that door. And we the organizations, we come together and say, listen, we love our independence as small organizations. We love the relationships that we've cultivated with the community, and because we're smaller, not having many employees, we're able to give specialized attention to your problems and your needs in the community. And we preface that by saying we're going to work together so that we can scale, right? That's basically what it is. We're scaling our effectiveness so that the community can find this one location to go to where all their needs can possibly be met, and that's all we need to do. And I think grants, because the grants will come, the grants will fall right in the lap because people are looking for that. All we'd have to say is say that that's a collaborative operation. Ain't that's what West Side Rising? Ain't that's how they get?
Right.
They get some of their money by calling it a collaborative. They're coalescing with other. That's exactly what we doing. We just working under one roof. Simple stuff like that. That's what we need. We need to start looking and doing things like the only thing.
No, I think that's a great idea. It's the big box of CBOs, community-based organizations.
It's a fact.
Everybody's there, one-stop shop, pull it off the shelf, and I think that's a good idea. And then we already doing it. Everybody coalescing with all the other little groups and the groups that they can. My thing is when it comes down to getting the chops, that's the problem. When it comes down to divvying up the money, it has to be very much specified what this money is for, how much it is given, the duration of the money, the issues that have to be taken care of, and then you're right. You have one person do all of the paperwork, so that the
man, we treat it like the mob, man. Everybody, all the heads of the table come sit at the table, man. What you need? What you need? What you need to be? I bet we gonna do that. Now you said what you need. And we're gonna make it just a little bit more so there ain't gonna be no problems. But other than that, it shouldn't be no problems because you're saying what you need and what it'd be effective.
Absolutely. And then
Well, that would be beautiful if it could come to be. But like Steve said, that money is the root of all evil. And to me, man, you know what? I love it. It sounds great. And I would love to see it happen. But you got to bring the right hand to the table. Else, it's somebody gonna think that somebody get more than them, and
that's good.
It just,
I'm glad you brought that up because what I was gonna say, make the money the same amount, make it equal. Just make it all equal. Yeah, this is the chops you gonna get. These are the chops you gonna get. Everybody getting the same cut off the state. But you know what happens when everybody get the equal chops? Somebody somewhere else says, I can give you a little bit more if you leave that. But that's just how capitalism is, I guess. People have the freedom to shop around and do what they want. But
see, I think this is what we run into problems because we keep talking and I'm with this is what Barry be coming in at because Barry always say this about the money, and in this case he'd be right. He always say that capitalism is the problem, the money is the problem, and that's what you guys are saying right now. And for me, I see the problem is the violence, the lack of education, the lack of what I mean. I'm like, man, bro, like we need money though. That's the like. I hate the fact that when money is introduced to us, we act like it's the end all be all. Like we can't. Yeah, man. It's like it puts you under a spell. I get it. Growing up broke, when you get a little something, you want to figure, man. It's the best. I ain't never had these steak and lobsters is the best I've ever had. I've never had this before. Like I get it, but damn, like at some point it got to be like, man, it ain't about the money though.
right.
And I don't know.
I think that's the biggest thing. Once
like I was saying, and I don't want to bring up nobody's parade because that's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact of being with my father all my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him get these organizations to get this funding, and then the main thing that messed him up in the long run is the money, the mismanagement of the money.
Yeah.
People not doing what they're supposed to do with the money, and I'm talking about all the way back into the 70s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I say you got to bring the right hands to the table.
Right.
It will be beautiful.
You got to have a good manager. You got to have a good bookkeeper. You got to have a good program manager, and so forth and so on. Because somebody might say, "Oh, we need someone to talk about housing, or come help us with a housing situation." We send our housing person out to deal with that. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks go by, and the person that asked said, "Well, we never got any contact with them. We don't have any information. We really needed to know about how we can keep our housing sustained and viable where we're living." And then we look back and go to the housing person and say, "Hey, what happened?" "Well, this, that, and other." Well, we can't have this, that, and other. We got to have a backup plan. Maybe we need more than one housing. Well, definitely we need more than one housing specialist because there are a lot of housing issues. But that's when it comes into play also. Not being able to keep up with the load or keep up with the people that's handling the load. It could get a little helter-skelter, as they say. It's out.
Yeah, a little like it.
I think they still there.
Yeah, I just.
1 weekday.
Barry, Barry, you're gonna have to start over. We experienced a little outage real quick. So what were you saying? We missed it.
What I was saying is, I think you can start simple with something like a babysitting co-op, where you have 5 parents with 5 sets of kids, and you take turns watching the kids. It's real simple. You get 5 people that you're comfortable with, that you know, that you trust your children with, and you take turns. It's not complicated. So we do that with anything. Shopping for groceries, something simple. Just to start the idea of starting a cooperative business.
Yeah, I get that. We definitely gotta start on a small scale, man.
Something simple.
And let's say it's picking up groceries, and you just take turns picking up groceries, and there's no dollars involved.
Well, other than
When
purchase.
it's your turn, you get yourself and get the groceries and distribute it to people. Maybe they pick it up from your place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen. I'm at the point. I want to do something big. You feel me? I don't. I think we really need to value this space and time and opportunity that we have in front of us for people to get behind whatever things we want to create. But we need to create them. Period.
A way to do that is if you want to start something big, we support you. And if
Well, you know what I'm doing though.
I want to start something, and Arnold wants to start something, and Tiny wants to start something, we support each other and get it done.
Oh yeah, a few some sessions ago, some shows ago, we talked about the idea of having the 100 people giving 100 people 100 hours. So we were looking for 100 people to give 1 hour to a project. I think, and I'm thank you, Face Biter, for bringing that up, because that was absolutely an idea that I thought was super dope that we should execute on. But at that point, it's gonna be, what would that project be? And I do believe that was something that um, I was trying to spearhead. So that's something that I would actually like to work on. 100-hour project. So I'm gonna start looking to see what kind of 100-hour projects exist and look for 100 people.
Simple.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
could be something that we all have in common. Barry's right. But everybody don't have babies, but some do. But you got to think a little bit more common. I think again, everybody eat. Everybody need toilet paper, like Bush used to say. Hey, it's
Let's
something.
explore the idea of a warehouse, a distribution warehouse,
There you go.
grocery and toilet paper, anything else
There you
want
go.
to speak about.
There you go.
That's what we should address, that type of thing. And when you saying put up each 100 people put up $100, but you don't need that many people to put up $200 or $300 to start this co-op. We need to explore that idea.
But you gotta, once you see, it's all about supply chain. It's all about reentry points, or what do you call it? When your production goes down, or your product goes, restocking points, and all that. That's the critical thing about the warehousing part.
I think, I think, listen, part of it, I think our community suffers from, I think sometimes I don't know if some of like these large ideas, I don't know if we feel like we can't, I don't know if we, I feel like we don't think we can do it, when it comes to large ideas. Because it's like we're living in the age right now, man, where people are just making things happen, like, period. Just like, and it's like the hand wringing over something simple is trying to bring small organizations together. It's just like, and I get it though, because past history has shown that it's been a difficult thing to do. And so it's just like, man, man.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I think it can be done. We just have to
You
look
gotta
at,
stay positive.
we talk about money, how much money, and this and that. You see, this is the thing. Everybody has a talent. How do you put these talents on a shelf so that they're readily, pulled off the shelf when needed? And how do you keep these talents going? Because with every talent, there's some sacrifice, and there's some what do you call it? Labor, parts and labor, behind it. So you have to be able to know that number and be able to adequately supply that number monetarily. Because a person out there saying that they're gonna, well, let's take Tamika for example. She's gonna take all the photos for people that are doing things in the community, okay, and that's gonna be under the organization as the photo and production and marketing department. Okay. So we pay her the same amount of money that we pay the other people? Or do we pay her the same amount of money minus expenses and parts and parts? So it's a way it could be done. It's all about management.
I like this comment. Say what?
Yes, sir.
So she said, the face biter says, what's crazy is how it's easy for cults and crazy people to organize, but you only get a Martin Luther King or JFK every once in a while that can get good people to do it en masse.
Yeah.
That's a fact, man.
That's true.
That's a fact. But I mean, but at the, I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what? I tell you what it's gonna take. It's gonna take the few of us to just start to do something. And we just have to do it.
Well, I want to propose something again to you. The big picture, DeAndre, you talked about big ideas, time exchange, using time currency, and Peacebrook together is a big idea that, if we're successful, could change everything. And we, at the same time, get little cells of people, not one big babysitting co-op, but many, many small ones.
Mm-hmm.
And each one is independent. It takes care of its own logistics, its own expenses, its own stuff. But the idea is that they're connected to each other. They help each other.
But how
So we've got a big concept coupled, which is just the framework. And within that framework, we're doing growing cells of people who are working together.
Let me ask this question: how do you, well, I was thinking, how do you manage that? Like you said, do it on a small scale, but for groups within groups. But at some point, there has to be some kind of monetary transactions going on.
The monetary stuff is within the cell. Is the business of the few people who are in the babysitting co-op.
Mm-hmm.
And I use babysitting co-op only as an example.
Probably makes a lot more
It could be a
sense.
food co-op or whatever, or taking turns picking up groceries, whatever.
Probably makes a lot of sense, because if one mother knows how to take care of a baby, another mother should know. It should be similar. I mean, there might be certain dietary needs that are different, but I mean, all in all,
But that's up to the 5 people to make those, to coordinate that. And we don't have, all of us don't have to be involved in that, but we want to, we can come together on this show and during time exchanges meetings and peacemakers meetings with the idea of supporting all these cells.
I was thinking back again what Bill said about having a warehouse. And I'm like, warehouse doesn't necessarily have to be a huge warehouse in the beginning, but at least a place where you can have your supplies and your product.
There could be a shed in somebody's backyard.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. It could be multiple sheds. It's just you just need to know where the products are for the sum of the whole. You might have 400 units over here.
If it's only 5 people, it's not complicated.
Right. I like that. You got 400 units here, 500 units there, 300 units here. Your total is what, 1,200 or what is that? 1,200. And at the end of the day, you just have to look at what your sales are or your customers are, and saying, you know, where does it go? What's closest to which one's close to get it over there, and so forth. Yeah.
Well, the go ahead.
No, go ahead. Hmm. What'd you say? So yeah, that's the logistics. There's a lot of logistics behind this, but you got to start with what you can utilize. But it's the ideas. This the other part. The ideas are crucial. Formulating what you really want from the ideas that you have. So right now it sounds like we we could say that there's a need for something in the community that creates sustainability, an economic engine, a supply and demand scenario, but we haven't quite narrowed down to what that item is. If it's going to be babysitting, if it's going to be groceries, if it's going to be toiletries, if it's going to be a one-stop shop for all the community needs, meaning housing, drug addiction counseling, public safety awareness and prevention initiatives. Um, what is it? What is it? What is it that we could do? Let's say going into 2022 to start it off, so we could see so we can see where we need to be in 6 months, 9 months, a year. Any ideas? Any comments?
Well, I'm proposing that we have cells.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to try to get a few small groups together to get started. And if we got 5 groups of 5 people all of next year, that's my first thought.
So 25 people.
No, not 25, 5 groups, 5 separate groups. So the logistics and all the coordination would be internal to the 5 people.
I think you said 5 groups of 5 people.
Hi, this is Venus. I want to ask Steve a question.
Sure,
Can y'all hear me?
sure, Venus, we can hear you.
Hey, Steve.
Hey there.
Steve, is this something that you just put out, or is this something that you want to unfold?
Well, this is something we've been talking about for a while, and we're finally saying, let's develop this. There are so many, we are a coalition with so many groups. How come we can't create a sustainable situation for the groups, the community, the people at large? It's already going on with all of these other, what are these Sam's Clubs and all these other things, How come we can't create something that we need, we could supply, we could benefit from, and we can build our community and make it stronger and more sustainable?
Okay, well, what's the next step that we need to move instead of just talking what we need to do? What's the next step
The next step,
that we can move forward on doing?
well, the step is we need to identify what that product, that issue, that what do we all think we really want and need? That's the key. If I say it, it may not be the same as what you may think, but if we get a general consensus, we can always work towards that,
There you go. What I'm suggesting is, Venus, what is it that you need? And are there people you know that you can work with to get that done?
Well, this is my first chance hearing this conversation, and my first time hearing y'all talk about this. I would like to be more, you know, involved in what I'm listening to
More
before
detail.
I can put an input. Because at first it just sounded like it was something y'all was just talking about. So now the next step is making it come to the vision that y'all have. So I have to just be more connected onto what y'all talking about.
I kind of want to.
With y'all, but I'm kind of sick. I'm fighting. I'm battling with the flu or whatever. So I just been listening to y'all, and I'm in silence right now.
Yeah, that's good. Just tune. Just speak out when you feel like it. Because like I said, right now we posing the question. What can the product? What can the service? What can we do to help a sustainable economic engine in our own communities that would help with a lot of the problems that we have. Let's not even talk about problems. Let's just talk about what help us. Oh,
Look, another question just don't have to do with this. Danny Davis earlier, and he said that he was going to be on 1390 at 7 o'clock. Is that true?
yeah,
Did he tell y'all anything?
no, he here yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, he told me he had an interview on 1390, but at 7 o'clock, and I've been listening, and I haven't heard nothing about him coming on. Yeah,
He used to make
I
his
thought
way
maybe I
in.
hit the wrong station.
He used to make his way in round about now, but we'll give him a few more minutes. I haven't heard one way or the other.
He said he wasn't gonna come in today with y'all because
Okay.
he had to be on 1390.
Okay.
So, but I don't hear him now, so
Oh,
I don't know if I got the wrong station or not.
no, I'm not
Okay,
sure about that.
I'm gonna mute myself.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm glad you told us. That's good. So again, Barry saying co-op babysitting clubs. Bill saying have a warehouse. I'm saying have multiple small warehouses. Whatever you
Like
want to
these,
call it.
the businesses that you are speaking about setting up, you can have a distribution center where we can, supply these places. That's what I'm speaking about. Even if it was a grocery store, restaurant, whatever it might be, you can still have that distribution center to supply all these businesses that we're doing. Restaurant, anything that we're doing, we can have it on hand. And so this is where everybody, you can buy it in bulk, everything will be cheaper, and you can sell it at a lower price, and still make money.
And what I'm proposing is that the people, Bill, if you can get 5 people to work with you on getting that warehouse and having it be viable, that sounds great.
Also, you know what I think everybody needs to start doing too, just listening. Because a lot of this is saying, we can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me turn you up a little bit.
You hear
Uh,
me?
yeah, we got Mosaic. Mosaic.
Um, so it's one thing to build a business and serve the community, but we know how the community is, and we got to get the community on the same page. Everybody who's in here now should be donating with your money. If you want to help the community, Donate with your pockets to your organization. If Northwest Austin Council is going to be your organization, you should donate with dollars because that's how you get things moving. We can talk about all the ideas we want to. None of those ideas cost money. You know, if you want to sell tissue, you got to go get the tissue from the people in China who manufacture the tissue. And then we got to order at least 100, 200 cases of tissue from China, bring it over here, smack a label on it, and distribute it out. We're gonna need more than 75 cents too. We'll need more than that. And so again, you know, a lot of business start with Kickstarters. You know, we come out with an idea, the, everybody agrees on the idea. There's a website and a dollar amount goal. We need to reach this dollar amount so we can start this type of business for the community, and now we can service you with this. But you will never get an idea like this grandiose off the ground that's serving a community of thousands of people. Those people need to start donating. Everybody got ideas. You know, some of the callers got ideas for the people in the council. Are you willing to donate? Like, not just one time. If you donate 5, you donate 10 next time. You donate 10, you donate 15 next time, and try to get somebody else to donate if you believe in this. But if people don't donate with or with their money, then they don't really care because anybody can talk about some things, and you know, if you're not donating with your money to a cause, then it's null and void. So I think those people need to donate.
I like that idea. But when you donate, you gotta have a goal. And you
That's
gotta
why I said. That's why I said with a Kickstarter, they have a website and they have a goal. It could be a GoFundMe, it could be anything, and you can set the goal out because everybody here, everyone talking about it. So if it's translated on GoFundMe, and we need 10K, by boom, 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 boom. Hey, hit that link so we can boom, boom, boom. So we can talk to the manufacturers in China and get the tissue over. And so we can start printing our own labels on them. You know, so all of that comes within, saying the mission statement of the Kickstarter or whatever you're trying to start. So um yeah, definitely. And I'm a person. I got my own YouTube channel. Y'all want to go to it, Mosaic Monk. I ask for donations all the time because I put it out. The fact that y'all here right now on Sunday, everybody else at their house chilling, they should be donating to y'all while y'all up there. Y'all working right now, so I definitely would have that would be a top priority right there.
donate. Don't hesitate.
Donate. Everybody donate to McDonald's. You donate to Walmart. You donate to your car note. You know what I'm saying? You donate to the convenience store, the Arabs in the convenience store. You know what I'm saying? You donate to Uncle Sam involuntarily, voluntarily, however you want to do it. Why not give no money to your local council? If you got any designer clothes on, I don't care if it's Puma, Fruit of the Loom, you could give some money to your local black council.
I feel you. What was someone else who said something in the background?
I said, stop kicking the can down the road, put a lid on it, and let's market this can. It's all talk. I'm getting tired of all this talk. Let's do something.
Oh, he want to donate.
You ready to donate, right?
He ready to donate.
All right.
Oh, okay. See, there we go. It definitely could get moving.
Making any suggestion about how we're going to get something started. We got to maybe a face-to-face meeting somewhere. I don't know. We got to do something. Just can't keep talking. Kicking the can down the road. Let's put a lid on this can and market this can.
So let's narrow it down then. Should it be a service or should it be a product?
And what now?
Should it be a service or should it be a product that we all trying to project towards.
That's why we
The face.
keep it together and then speak about what we can do, what's feasible, and what's not feasible. That's where you get the idea of the road.
Yeah. Yeah, but the biggest problem is when you start meeting the meat, you better have your pencil and paper sharp because people they get bogged down with it. That's why, like now, we can have all that ready when it's time to meet, or at least some of it.
I mean, whenever y'all want to start a service, an education service, I got the program. I got a program.
Somewhere, gotta start somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, I still go back to keep it simple. Barry said the babysitting clubs. I'm like, people need babysitters. Lord knows that. The only thing about babysitting clubs, well, you're right. You got to keep them within the hub because if you broaden them out too far, people are like, I can't go that far to drop my kid off, and so you got to have.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of stipulations to watch people kids, and it's COVID-19 right now. Then they got a new strand. That wouldn't be the best idea. Watching
Yeah,
people kids.
yeah, they get into a lot of medical.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said. Still say I'm talking about this toilet paper because Bush put it in my head about 6, 7 years ago, and I was like, I didn't even think until the COVID situation. I'm like, man, everybody needed toilet paper, and it wasn't about hoarding it. It was just being able to get it to people and making sure they had it. How do we get to that point? What is the product? Again, it could be a food product. We talk about DeAndre talks about that are healthier choices. Maybe we need to source out a real healthy choice product. Maybe it could be a healthy choice snack. Maybe it could be a healthy choice main course, food product. But we need to look at this because this is critical. This is critical.
What about bottled water?
Water, yeah, water is.
Bottled water.
That's not a Christmas gift.
I mean,
Hey.
I'm saying it's simple, but water is something that people need in the future.
Okay. You gotta get an iPhone first. You don't know what kind of iPhone.
What did he say we needed in the future, Steve?
Water. He said.
Oh yeah, hey! I looked up some stuff about water, starting a water bottle, like a water company, and then I had an idea because in Africa they got these cool little Africa. This was an idea I came up with. Well, I didn't come up with it, but So in Africa they don't, since it's not a lucrative place, and most places are not lucrative. They don't have the capability to have their water in plastic bottles, so they got them in bags, these cool little bags, and then you could and what they do is they get the bag and then they just bite a little hole in it with their teeth and they just suck the water out with the bag, and it's just a little cool little efficient way. You don't got to have the paper around the plastic. You don't got to manufacture that. You could actually print whatever you want on the plastic and then just seal the water inside of the bag. So I thought that was a decent idea of having water in a bag. And they also got another idea where they got water like droplets, so you could get it looked like a Mentos, a big Mentos, and then you put the water in your mouth and you just bite it and it just splash in your mouth. It's just like a little, a little piece of water with you. So I think if we do a water company, we definitely got to get a little fun with it, so people can be like, "This is a cool little idea. You could actually eat a piece of water like it's a piece of candy."
Yeah, like I know what you're talking about, like those bees that they put in the plants, but they changed it so that it's edible for and consumed for
Oh
human.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yep.
Good idea. Maybe water. We need to do some research on
I
some
mean,
water.
water and tissue. Why
Yeah,
not?
DeAndre brought up hemp last.
Water, tissue, and hemp lotion.
Yeah, yeah. How can we tie the hemp products with the water products and the tissue products? If that's what we need. That's the key. Now the hemp, I'm still not all the, together on how hemp can really. I need to look at all the different uses for hemp, because it could be something that's right up under our nose that we're not even trying to look at. It could be just revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? Love the show. Who said that? Great motivation.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, I don't know. I think we gotta figure something out. I don't know.
So so hemp products. Let's think about it. I mean, I don't know. I got to Google that. I don't know. I don't know what the multiple things that can be made. I mean, we talked. You can make toilet paper out of hemp. Yeah, you
Yeah.
said that, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, hemp can be used to make anything you need, literally anything, because it's basically it's tree based or plant based product. So you can make anything, anything that you think, from clothes to, like I mentioned, straws, tissue, you name it. You realistically, man, you can make whatever we need.
You from straws. So that would be a whole nother distribution chain. You can make straws because you want to get them to the restaurants and stores. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. So like Bill said, he say stop kicking the can and let's put a lid on it. I do like Barry's idea as far as the delivery. I like that part. I like being able to deliver stuff to people because, yeah, we got Grub. What is it called? DoorDash and all of these things. Those are great. But, I mean, why can't we just have our own internal or our community DoorDashes? Where everybody's being satisfied through people that they trust and know. We know that they're gonna drop this off. We know that it's gonna be the product I need. We know we're gonna have it by this date. These are things that we should be. These are things that create the sustainability in a community. And that's what we're really trying to get to, creating some sustainability. Whereas we can go and say, we did this. This is how we're growing. This is how we're gaining, and then we take these little things and create seeds or plant seeds to build other things. If we do this starting the beginning of the year, because I tell you what, if I ask this question, I'm gonna stay on this toilet paper deal. I don't know why, but I'm gonna stay on this. How much toilet paper do you think how much money do you think you spend on toilet paper a year in your household? Is it $50? Is it $150? Is it $200? I guarantee you it's minimum. At the warehouse, it's like $18 for a pack of 20.
Let me see. Well, yeah, for me, I'm thinking Probably about 150. Probably about 150. Because I mean, let's say you get the big roll, you're gonna get about 15 in there. That's gonna run you about $10 to $12 for the 15 pack.
Right.
That 15, unless you got a large family, should last you a month, 2 months. So you extrapolate that 6 times.
Yeah, right. Your phone charger.
Yeah, that's what I'm
He
saying.
said
Like
a family of
that's what I said. But depending on your family size, because me by myself, I use a 8 pack. It might take me.
Being like that, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that growing up. Yeah, my mom Deuce used to say that too.
Right.
Yeah, my mom Deuce used to say that too, man. Listen, man, y'all gotta be y'all gotta be how you call it, like more earth conscious, man. Get you a bidet. I got a bidet at home. Get a bidet, man. Grow up. You don't gotta use that much toilet tissue.
You don't have to use none.
Yeah, realistically.
No.
I'm living in Asia at my crib. We use bidets.
What this mean?
Bidet.
I mean, yes or no?
Yeah, but you use more water.
Why? You ain't gonna eat it?
No, it's the same. It's the same water coming through the toilet. I ain't gotta pay for the
You
water.
ain't gonna eat none of it.
I mean, that's the benefit of written. I ain't gotta pay for the water, But yeah, no, it's the same water that flow through the toilet line. Yeah, same amount,
Well,
same amount, and your toilet ain't gonna work that hard because you ain't gotta flush that much tissue down there. That's what I'm saying. You actually, for its purposes, it's actually decent. Yeah.
store a lot of pollutants that go into the the wastewater.
Yeah.
Did you have Christmas tree?
But you killing the vibe on our productivity. If the whole world want to go to bidets, then we gonna be
Nah, they ain't getting no bidets, man. These guys ain't getting no bidets because they'd have been did it already. They'd have been did it.
And that's what would be from toilet paper to paper towels. Toilet paper towels, napkins. Or maybe we need to look at the forecast on paper products for the next 20, 25 years. Maybe it's
But see, the thing is, where you gonna get the product from? Because if you gonna take the route of China, they definitely, you bound to get screwed over. You bound to look, hey, I got a whole shipment. I need to boob out the bam. Can you fulfill these orders?
right.
No. China tell you, yeah, they can fulfill them, knowing they can't. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that too. So
What you do is you have 2 or 3 domestic sources, and you have 2 or 3 international sources. Yeah.
right, yeah.
I mean, you don't want to spread out too thin because you won't be able to pay for all of them. But you narrow it down. You let them, show you that they can meet the demands. But
Yeah, man, we need
I already know
we need 5,000 for the people.
when you're dealing with China or let's just say Pacific Rim Asia, it takes about 2 weeks on the water, 7 to 10 days on the water with the containers. And I remember working where we were. We had
That's gonna take a month. That's gonna take a month.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, China. Oh no, China. I done ordered some stuff. It's gonna take a month, maybe longer than that.
But I'm talking about when you're talking volume and you worked out some type of commerce deals. They can get them. They put containers on their water every minute. Other than when this whole situation came down. But again, that's why you always have a domestic source where it's like you don't have to look at borders being closed. Oh, the border's closed. We can't get any tree products. No. Out in Colorado or wherever you can get big products from. But you always got to have a backup source, a main source, and then your backup source. You get you trickle in people that in it, so they don't think you're not still working with them. You keep a small order on that. You keep your main order on your big things, and then you got to look at usage. Utilization is one of the biggest things. But in our communities, man, it could be anything. I'm telling you, we buy everything from everywhere else at every minute of the day. Shoot. I thought a lot of these dispensaries were gonna be all over the community. I'm like, man, there's gonna be dispensaries everywhere because everybody could sell this stuff. Well, that ain't turned out to be the deal. How many dispensaries got in Chicagoland area?
Man, at least 2025.
2025 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the Chicagoland area,
Yeah. Like Chicago and just the close suburbs.
Right. Yeah, you got a nice amount. You got a nice amount, about 2025 on.
So they always say service. I say let's narrow that service down to delivery type things or something like that. Transportation. I don't know if you really want to get into the babysitting and all that. That could be something. Yeah, it could be done in smaller groups, like you said. You find your own group and do it. And then if it grows and we figure out the logistics on how to make that happen more often, then or more feasible, then we can grow it. But I still go back to the simple things. Something that you spend your money on and you don't have to sit there and deliberate over. Is this the one? Why am I not getting this? I'm so used to this. And it's like I just need it. Here's the money. Can I get it when I need it? And when I want to reorder, can I get another? That's what we really want to look at. I think as far as a product. And I see a lot of things. I remember my brother and I, we used to sell donuts. And you wouldn't, this is way before all the coffee shops and everything. This is like early 80s, 81, 82, 3, all the way through the, early 90s. And he wanted to open up a coffee shop. I'm like, man, we ain't gonna do coffee. People just want donuts, let them have donuts. Coffee people do coffee. But, he was thinking ahead. He was way ahead of the game because the coffee shops are all over now. There was no Starbucks back then. I mean, at least Starbucks didn't start until like 90, 91, 90, something like that. Something, yeah. But there was no, that was just unheard of. You get your coffee from a Dunkin' Donuts if you could, or you get it from a diner or a restaurant. If it was, or a McDonald's. McDonald's always sold coffee. But, people wouldn't even imagine the money you could make selling donuts. Now, is that a healthy product? No. But you can make a lot of money selling donuts through fundraisers and events, and then if you had an actual donut distribution store or a donut shop, I think more so you having a shop. I don't know. I have to look at the numbers on the shops, but I think that just distributing them and sales and distribution, door to door or B2B, a lot of money. I used to deliver donuts to Apostolic Church of God. Every Sunday, I would pick up $500 from them, and they would make $1,500 on the order, and I would pay what we used to pay. If I paid $500, I think we would round about $300. We only paid $200 for the donuts. $200 for the donuts and muffins. We made $300. They made another $1,000 because they marked their prices up however they wanted to. But
Man.
Believe me, they'll make
Markup be
money.
real. Oh yeah,
I mean, we used to,
markup be real.
we used to have muffins, carrot muffins, big ones, blueberry muffins. We used to get them for like, if I'm not mistaken, 50 cent a muffin, 40 cent a muffin. I would sell the muffin for $1.
Mm.
They would sell the muffin for $2. I'm thinking, man, if this muffin got marked up from 40 cents to $2, just like that. But this was at a church. They sold us at a church every Sunday. And money, they made their money for their fundraisers. We made some money. We had to transport it. We had to, make deals and everything. But it's most doable, no doubt. But everybody's not eating muffins. Everybody's not eating donuts. I say, whatever it is, it's gotta be something that we don't have to think about buying, and we just need it. It's one of those things where it's like, man, I don't have it, but I know my neighbor got one. Let me just get yours, and I'll get you, I'll re-up, back to you, because mine is coming, type of deal. Anybody got any responses, questions, or comments? I guess you guys heard that Congressman not going to be here today. He's supposed to be on WVON, I think, this evening at 7, which I wasn't aware of. It's all good.
I definitely would have been great to have. I would like to know how much money is coming to the city, in preparation to that. Because I think I believe that was brought up last week as well. That's a good point that Kenny brought up. Trying to figure out where's this money about to go. And I know, and I think it was last week as well to talk about like violence preventers and how that's not even a good strategy anymore, and trying to figure out like, what can we do? What should we be doing? It's absolutely necessary.
When you say violence preventers, what do you mean?
Just these organizations, with that are tasked with doing violence prevention work that doesn't seem to be working. I mean, I'm sure it works. I'm sure it does, but it's just, they're getting more money now. So you would think you would have more effect with more money, but it almost seems like that's not working at all. So, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, but I definitely I would like to know what they're going to do with it for sure. I'm with Kenny.
Somebody brought up about the school over there on Central Madison. How about if some of that money could be used and you break that school off into different sections and use part of it for the organization parliament, use part of it for boys and girls club type of thing where they could, learn about computers and play basketball. There's already a gym up in there. They can use it to play, get the kids up somewhere instead of hanging on the street, somewhere that they can go in there. They can be sectioned off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, the problem with them is like, ain't no kid gonna get out of school and go there unless he gonna play basketball. Like, what I'm saying? Kids don't really go out. I would have never been involved in none of the outside after school curriculum if my mom wouldn't have never put me in those things. So until the schools start, the school should just force kids to just really to curb. I know how to curb violence. I got the answer right now. I got it. I found it out just right now. Make kids, when they get out of school, they got to go through an after school program, mandatory. The more time you're in school, the more time you're doing another curriculum activity after school, it leaves less time to be outside because it'll be getting night, especially around in the wintertime. It should be mandatory after school curriculum to curb violence in certain places. Like, all right, cool. A lot of the kids is getting violent. All right, after school, you gotta go do this work. Make it fun though. Some type of workshop. But I think that's how you curb violence, though. You feel me? I think that's how you really curb it. Because it's the young dudes out here really getting busy.
to make it mandatory that they have an after-school program.
Mandatory. Every kid until you 18, you have to go. You gotta go to an after school program,
How
and
many
they
hours?
don't get out to 6.
How many hours? Up to 6 o'clock?
Yep.
You talking about 2.5 hours then? Two to 2.5 hours.
No, they said so much supposed to be going toward violence prevention. So that is a violence prevention right there.
Yeah, and that's
Right, but what I'm saying, it be mandatory by the school, not a program made by an organization. You know what I'm saying? It should be mandated. So ain't no if ands or buts around it. After you school, you got a wood shop class this week, and the next week you got an engineering class for learning about cars, and then the next week you got have different programs already set up for the shouties.
You know
And they
what?
at that.
I think once you make it mandatory, you ain't gonna, and the kids like it, other kids gonna talk about it enough that they gonna want to try to get in it. You're gonna have an overflow.
Yeah, it should be mandatory. You know what I'm saying? States like cities like Chicago, Atlanta, Memphis, Los Angeles, California, Boston, all of them places. Oh, all right, cool. Y'all kids want to act up? Huh, cool. And it should be mandatory to wear uniform. No ifs, ands, or buts.
What happened with that? They don't do the uniforms anymore?
Man, the city of Chicago got weak and they started taking money from the schools and putting it elsewhere. Now the kids come to school like a fashion show. It's cool to get your little nails did, hair did. It's cool for the guys to get a little haircut, 3 cuts in your eyebrow, trying to wild out type stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Make it mandatory that they wear a uniform so you can teach these kids about being organized. When you got a uniform, and you know what I'm saying, all you could do is the boys all when I was in school, all you could do is to make your uniform cool is sag it a little bit. That was it. But you had a white shirt, khakis.
black pants.
They should go back to mandatory uniform because the kids don't know how to act.
Black pants.
I thought they were still on that, but that's good information. Well, you know why they went to uniforms, right?
Well, see, yeah, go ahead.
Well, there was a lot of problems in schools. First of all, back when we went to high school, that's when all that stuff where they started shooting people for the gym shoes and taking the gym shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to a competition thing where this kid was fighting because he had better shoes than the next one, was a better pro. So the CPS, Chicago Public Schools, said, you know what, it's time to just neutralize all this. We want everybody wearing a school uniform. And I think that started in the 90s when they went to that 90s or mid-90s or something like that. And I thought it was a neutralized situation, but I don't know why they dropped it. I know they started getting lax because they started off with shirts and tops. They got to have certain pink shoes. Then they laxed up. Well, you don't have to have certain shoes. Then they went to you don't have to have certain bottoms. You know.
I think part of it was because CPS is described as a prison. How do you call it? School to prison pipeline already. So what they was basically looking at is the fact that you have all of these kids that have to be in the same thing all the time. You already dumbing them down and just preparing them for jail, right? That was the whole. So when you look at it, it's like you're creating this idea. And maybe they didn't think about this, or maybe they did. Who knows? These guys are.
Like, what you mean? What you mean? Get them prepared for jail.
Well, because as it stands, most people believe that CPS just prepares, especially black kids, to go to jail, right? That's why they call it a school to prison pipeline, because when you got to wear the same thing, similarly in jail, you got to wear the same clothes, right? Like our kids are already not learning certain things. They get frustrated, blah, 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 and they skip a school, all this other stuff that makes them more prone to doing things that's going to put them in jail. So a lot of times, that's why they was calling it the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah, that's ridiculous because at the end of the day,
of
Yeah, but why they don't call it the military pipeline? The military wear they wear the same clothes. Why they don't call it the Walmart pipeline? Walmart people wear the same clothes. Why they don't call it the Target pipeline? People at Target wear red pants and khaki. Everything has uniformity involved
I
in
agree.
it. You know what I'm saying? That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, Catholic kids wear uniform all the time. They never say you get a Catholic kid, the white kids at Oak Park ready for jail because they got it all. Everybody wearing a uniform. The little girls. What about the women who wear uniform? Are they going to jail or are they getting? Are they hookers or? I mean, I'm saying, what are they being? I don't know. I think that's a bad argument.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, I just think if I listen, I don't know where school's at now, right? I graduated in '05. I wore uniforms all 4 years of high school, and prior to that, I was wearing uniform at every other school I went to. So if what I'm saying is if they have changed from wearing uniforms, it's only because of the narrative of the school to prison pipeline. And I'm sure people have fought tooth and nail to start to change that stigma, and especially CPS. So they probably was like, look, let's do this one thing that could potentially, erase some of that stigma. And again, I don't know that to be true, but I'm just saying that I'm quite certain that that plays a role in some way, unless parents got together and said we don't want kids to wear uniforms, and then it changed that way.
It would have been cheaper for them.
But wait a minute, hold on. One of the main reasons why they dropped the uniform
They great. It's
is
okay.
because the constant complaints from the parents. Oh, I can't find no shirt. Oh, I can't find no
There you go.
pants. They don't want to put in a little effort to go a little further to get the uniform for their kids because they get the late time by the time they get out there to try to get it, everything is gone. So it's a lot of moaning and crying and why we gotta do this anyway. That ain't got nothing to do with learning. That's where it came from.
Right.
A lot of
That part too. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Now you're right about that though, because but listen, I know when I was at Douglas, we had to wear gold shirts and blue slacks, and penny loafers. My twin brother and I was the only one wearing penny loafers, brown penny loafers with the gold shirt and the blue slacks. Until they got a little bit lax, then we was able to start wearing, at least trying to wear Jordans and everything else like other people at school. Otherwise, like, and the crazy thing about it was because we were the ones wearing uniforms, like they said,
Oh,
we were the ones talked about. We were the dirty kids. We were the poor kids. So it's
at first it was just simple, the light blue shirt and the dark blue pants. They said everybody wears red black gym shoes or shoes.
right,
No color in them at all.
right,
I'm telling you.
right,
My kid wasn't even a part of it, just what I said from my nieces and nephews and all that was a part of it. But the schools tried to enforce it. And the teachers, the parents like,
right.
shoes or pants like this, all that. Made about, business bitch about it,
Wow.
They didn't understand the purpose of it. That's why it was made away because everything was complained about. And I went to St. Bell be over there watching it. Then, and you can talk your lips off. But if you walked in there and you wasn't dressed correct, you went back home.
Right.
They be careful what your mama and everybody else said. This is the rules you're going to live by.
Right.
But no, so everything that got so political now, then
Right.
parents want to run to the ornament about it. They feel like if the ornament don't do something about it, then he need to be voted out and this and that and that and this. See, so he goes by the wayside.
I mean, listen, a lot of our community's problems can be traced right back to the parents. If we being honest with ourselves. So, parenting is a lot different. We're in a different time, but a lot of the problems can go right back to the parents. For real.
But you know what? I like what Mosaic said about, making something mandatory. Making after school mandatory. Maybe that could be a way to curb a lot of these issues. But I also believe that in order to grow that kid, you need to show them show them something different. Show them a different place, theme, people or whatever, you know. I think if you show kids something different, their minds tend to grow better, you know. They look at other options in life. They think about those things. They're not even sure. As small as the world is now with the internet, kids still don't believe. I think they just think that's just something on the internet. And I'm saying maybe we need to take kids away from the environment that they're usually in and show them a different environment. A lot of them haven't even left the block, you know?
And that's so true, because you wouldn't believe how many kids that have never been to the lakefront.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And they don't know nothing about the museum and the planetarium
Right.
and Shed Aquarium. You know, they don't know nothing about the Brookfield and Lincoln Parks too. You know?
A lot of them don't know where the Sox play at, where the Cubs play.
Yeah. That's it.
We live in a big city as like Chicago, and a lot of the young people just have never experienced and explored what this big city has to offer, other than trying to make it to school safe and make it home safe.
Right. Hey, why not, you know, like my father did when I was young with a lot of my friends, that introduced them to fishing, and they fell in love with it.
Yeah,
You know?
we got a big old lake, bunch of rivers, a whole lot of ponds and smaller lakes. That's all it takes. Get them out there, get them something. But first of all, I think Mosaic is right. Mandate that they have to do some things, like an after-school program. And you know what? Mandated that they have to put in so many hours of after-school program, so that once they do, after that, it's an option. And I guarantee you the option is going to be, let's go do it. Because if it's fun and it's innovating, they're going to continue.
Now, is there a way we could try to implement that and get a grant for that? Trying to
Implement
push
the
implementing mandates, coming up with programs, coming up with a program and implementing mandates. Like, hey, let's get a couple of kids who willing to wear uniforms and go to this program, and they can get something out of the program, and that might give them a different,
they got money for everything. I'm gonna tell you like the congressman said. He ain't here, but he said it in the past. They got money for everything. So especially if it's programmatic, anything with a program attached to it, you can find some funding available for it. So
like
yeah.
One of the things we want to do, we want to start training kids in aviation field, and primarily drones and what they call non-winged aircraft, which are pretty much drones. We got man-driven drones. How do you call it?
Unmanned aerial vehicles, and then you got wingless. What is it? Wingless vehicles?
Y'all got the drones already?
We got somebody that's ready to. Yeah, we got somebody that's got them, that's ready to start doing this. So we kind of.
How many he got?
Got a couple at least, didn't he?
Yeah, you got a few. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but even if it really doesn't matter about how many he has, because once you write it into the grant and you tell the funders this is what we're going to use the grant for, because ultimately we were going to buy about anywhere between 4 to 6 more. So we could, in fact, that's what we were going to do. We were going to get 6. We're going to get 6. We're going to have, and we were going to have a class of 12 for a 13-week program that teaches you how to become certified in drones.
Okay, so like, when is that? Like, why is the grant wrote for that, or?
Well, no. Well, you gotta. Well, so the way grants work realistically is you come up with an idea. Well, or you could do it one of two ways. You come up with an idea and flesh it out, and then you go find a grant that will fund that idea. Or you can find a grant and then you could create a program or idea that supports that grant so you can get the grant. So
So
it depends on how you want to
so
do it.
so if you know you got a guy who do aviation, you know you got a guy. What's the next step?
Well, for
If you
us,
got the grant and if you got a congressman, which is a rarity, and he's telling you, I got a grant writer for you, and you got on the right hand, you got a congressman saying, I got a grant writer for you, I got money for you. And on the left hand, you got an aviation guy like, hey, I'll teach people aviation. What's the holdup? Where are the drones?
no,
I
that's
want
not a
my food delivered to me.
no, that's not a grant. So one of the things when Congressman
It's
Davis,
not a grant.
there, no, the grant. So listen, when we learned about this, which is a crazy thing, they sent out information about this. Maybe I think we met up with him in October, maybe September. They didn't let us know about the information for the grants until then when we met the guy. But the damn grant was supposed to be written in January of this year,
The aviation grant.
the aviation grant.
Mm-hmm.
So our thinking is that this grant will be once again available in January. So we have to wait until the grant makes itself available because you got to write to the grant. You know what I'm
How do
saying?
you know it'll be available?
Well, we got a sitting congressman. Shit, he sit on the committee for aviation. That was my whole purpose of asking him last week. I just didn't get a straight answer out of him as to when the grant is going to come available. So basically that's all. That's what it is. We have the guy. We know we got the outlet. So basically we have a skeleton of a program. I just narrowed it down to you. It's gonna be 13 weeks. We're gonna have 12 participants. We're gonna buy 6 drones, and we got the guy, right? So that's
This was last January, right? This January that just passed.
this January that just passed of this year. So that's when the
That's
grant
when
was.
that's when y'all found out about it.
No, we didn't find out about it until September. So whoever forwarded it to us just so late. They was like, "Is this something that y'all think y'all could get behind in the future?" We was like, "Yeah." Whole time we was thinking that the grant was available right then and there, but when I went and looked it up, I saw that the deadline had passed January 2021. So what it is, we started talking with the guy. We met him. We learned a little bit about drones, flew drones, and we started devising again the skeleton. So we got the skeleton ready to go. At this point, we ready. We waiting for the grant to drop so we can see what's entailed. So when we write the grant, it can go to the grant itself because while we saying we want a 13-week program, the grant might call for an 11-week program. You know what I'm saying? You never know the parameters. So, you can't get too ahead of yourself, but what you can do is be prepared with at least a skeleton. So that's what we have. We got the guy. We know the parameters of what we want to teach, and I think and then the next part, right, would be okay. We look at the grant, but then as Steve just mentioned, jobs, right? So another part is we don't want people to just learn about how to become an aviation pilot, a drone pilot. We want to then be able to connect them with jobs so when they get this license, they are already ready to go, right? So that's another part. So then you got to look at potentially where these jobs are coming from and maybe even talking to a person from those companies and saying, hey, we got people from this community that are learning how to fly drones. Could you guarantee them a spot if they earn a license? And that gives people even more incentive to want to join. So it's like it's like I say, we're not gonna even. It's not even that complicated. It's really not. It's more or less at this point. We just waiting on them to drop the grant. And again, I just asked the congressman, didn't get a straight answer. So hopefully the next time he come back on, I'm gonna ask him again. And maybe we could get some, and by way of knowing when it's gonna come down, because that's what we're waiting on. when does it come down so we can get our eyes on it and see what all do we actually need in order to make this successful?
And maybe we can use it in community. We can use these rooms in community for various things. You know, delivery, what have you. I don't know. But there's some opportunities. That's all we know. That's coming down the pipe. We need to look at how we can tie it all in. And what are my challenges is for everybody that's on Zoom, everybody that's out there on StreamYard, Facebook, and YouTube. For the next show, give me and DeAndre an idea on what you want to see us talk about. Give us some ideas, and or even now, and give us some ideas on who you'd like for us to have come in on the show. And I'd like to have two products and two services that you guys would like to see. That you would spend your money and your time on. Two products and two services. And we can start with that. How about that?
I know. Well, next week, so we bring in Jill in. Jill, and I think we might also have somebody doing some filming as well. So Jill works with Below the Line, which is a company she started with her partner Chad. I met Jill some time ago, and we actually working on a plan to close the wealth gap in the food packing industry. When she comes on, she'll talk about the numbers. She did the numbers. She knows how much African American people spend in the food packing industry. The problem is none of the conveyor belts belong to us. None of the machines that those industrial assets that can create generational wealth that cost millions of dollars, none of those belong to us. And we spend a lot of money eating, period. No matter where you're talking about, we eat a lot. And so Jill, who has extensive background in food packaging, wants to close the wealth gap by getting into those industries. So she enlisted me and a couple other individuals that have specialties in terms of building leadership, working with organizations, doing change management and things like that, where we're gonna she's actually already secured funding to purchase anywhere between $5 million and $25 million worth of company, so long as the company has a 1 million EBITDA, which is earnings before taxes, revenue, and 60% minority workers already. And the goal is to buy these companies and to change over the leadership into minority owners so that those minorities then become owner operators. The only way we're going to start to change wealth gap in the country is for black people to own anything. So at this point, you know, if we want to create generational wealth, it's through ownership. Like nobody got rich working for another person, and if they did, then that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with working for somebody else. But to pass something down to your children is obviously something that we should all strive for. And that's what so next week we're gonna have Jill on. She's gonna talk about that, what her and her partner Chad is up to, and some of the pieces about this whole idea of closing wealth gap in the food industry. So I think so that'll be that should be a really good show as we talk about those things. And hopefully as we talk about that, that'll give all of us some motivation to think about what can we do in our communities. Because I do think there's so much available to us. And sometimes it's just so many ideas that we just got to concentrate on one. And so that's when I say I want to do something big, I'm talking about something big, like that could be really community changing. You know what I'm saying? Like the vision has to be very impactful. That's why I really like when Barry sells like time exchange. The idea of the time exchange, people giving up their time, to build relationship with one another, and also the community is something that can't be taken for granted. And I think that's something that is difficult to do, but it can be done. And so I know that that's a big idea that I think can make a lot of impact in the community. And looking forward to doing things like that. But I hope, hopefully, with Jill coming on, it'll be able to spur more thoughts similarly where we can get into some of these markets where we aren't and really make impact. So yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, so hopefully, we come to the table with these ideas as Steve mentioned. You know, come with a couple ideas, come with a couple services, come with a couple products that we could utilize, that we could, take off with, that we could create our own. I think that matters so much.
Everybody, has something to give. A lot of us say we don't have the money, we don't have the, we're poor, what have you. But just like Barry always says, you have a talent. Everybody has some talent that they can give to build this thing, and that's what it's all about. Creating your contribution. Hopefully we can set things up where it's all, it's all equal, it's all equitable to all of those that are involved.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we right up at the 8:00 hour. We definitely appreciate you all for tuning in. Usually before we wrap up, we always go around the room, and we like for individuals to drop us with a last thought, it could be about anything, whatever you want, whatever you got to leave, So I can't see the Zoom, so I'll just kind of go off of the voices that I remember hearing. So first we'll start with you, Kenny.
Well, like I said, I think that it definitely needs to be looked into about what type of money can be might be coming into the Austin community, because then you can kind of plan for things to come. Because from what I understand, it's supposed to be about bettering the community and crime prevention and all. So
yeah,
it seems like a lot of things that could fall under that.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot that could be done. How about you, Barry?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be funding out there.
Yeah.
Gotta come up and invent a new wheel. What you say, Barry? Barry Corn. In closing.
My focus at the moment is children and how we can create a program of community-based education. And the main thing that I'm concerned about that is who's willing to pay for it via their time. Who's willing to help kids learn what they need to learn as the mentors or guides or friends or whatever you want to call the person who helps kids learn what they need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about you, Tiny? Yeah.
Well, I'm just always happy to be around like-minded people. That's it. I'm just glad to be with you guys, and let's just keep it up. Let's just keep talking.
All right.
Me too, Tony.
What about somebody? Who's this coming to audio? Who is that? I'm not sure who it is. Tamika, you got anything?
I just want to say that I like the ideas that we're coming up with, but I also wonder if we can get a realistic timeline of how we can start making these great ideas we're having happen.
Oh, we're pushing for the first of the year. That's why we only got a month to at least get the bucket of ideas together, disseminate through them, set up a process and a procedure, look at what the goals as far as the end goal is for the first year, 6 months, 9 months, a year into 22, and see where we're at, so we can gauge ourselves if we're going anywhere in the direction that we need to be going, or productivity assessment, and make it happen. I mean, we can do things on the month, on the week. We got to be doing it on the week to week, but we're definitely talking about kicking something in for next year. DeAndre said make it big. I'm saying make it big, but make it simple.
Well, if you need anything from me, just let me know. I can always, willing to help.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, just come up with two services or two products that you think that you would invest in, or would invest in and be a part of trying to make it happen in a community setting. And we're gonna make it and
I'll
take
think
it from
about
there.
it and do a little research, and I'll let you guys know next week.
Yeah, that's all good. This is all we want.
Steve, can I add something?
Go ahead, Barry, no problem. Go ahead.
What I've got in mind is learning, teaching, doing cells of 6 people.
Learning, teaching, doing sales.
Learning, teaching, doing cells. So 6 people who want to learn, teach, and do together.
So, classroom setting. Yeah, just make it package that a little bit better for me by the next show. I get it, but I don't know what you call it. I mean, it's.
Call it community cells.
Okay.
Community cells.
Community cells that learn, teaching, and what? What's learn, teach, and do?
Learn, teach, and do.
Learn, teach, and activate. How about that?
Not aggravate.
No, activate, get it done.
What?
Activate.
You said activate.
Activate.
Oh, activate. Oh, yeah, activate. Yeah.
Learn, teach, and activate. Get it done. You learn it, you teach it to somebody, and then they get it done and you get it done. Activate. Okay, I like that. I see Velder out there. What you know, Velder? What you know good?
Hey, Steve, hey, everybody. I'm just listening, getting up with some ideas. I wanted to share, I have a neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically go along and a bill was talking about. But before the pandemic, she started teaching people how to coupon shop.
Mm.
So her, a sister, and 3 other people that live in different communities, they have an emergency store. They do it as a business. And with that same store, you talk about toilet paper, and they have 4 black brothers that have a business that they sell toilet paper and paper towels.
Mm.
And then, so this month, they'll be talking to the guys that's doing the black bread. So they are incorporating that into their little store. Each one of them run the store either, Bill was talking about a warehouse, but they wouldn't run the store out of either their basement or bedroom in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And people call them or text them and tell them what they need, and it's bagged up when they get there, and then, they do credit card payments. But it's 5 of them now that's doing it. I'm planning on joining their team next year because I have a second floor in one of the buildings that I have watched them successfully grow their business into each other's house, where they're doing toilet paper, milk, paper towels, anything that's accessible for this pandemic. That's what they're doing, and it's the business that they start.
That's super dope.
I'd love to have them on the show.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I can, we live a block over from me, but like I said, before this pandemic hit, she was teaching people how to coupon shop. And what they do, they go out every Sunday and they coupon shop. And I have actually seen them get $100 worth of things with coupons and only pay $5 for it. So that's what they stock the stores in their house that people are able to come to and shop.
Yeah, I actually have a friend that does that as well. The couponing, yeah, man, you look missing out by not cutting them little coupons out for real. For real. Yeah, we definitely that'll be good. That'll be really good if they could come on and talk about that. That would be super. That would be nice.
Yeah, so that's what they do. So at one time I was but the kids tonight and the black bread tomorrow to stock their stores with the black owned bread company, and then I think they are already with the toilet paper and paper towels and black owned.
Oh, nice. Oh man, that's nice. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It is. That's what's up. That's really what's up.
Velda, do you have any sense whether they'd be open to more people starting that? And
Well, she probably will now because of the pandemic. I know when they first started, she would always tell me, don't get their ideas away. But I called her while y'all was talking, and they're open to other people doing it because one of them is here in Austin. She lives a block off from me. And then there's one in Lundale, one in Hump Park, and the other person is in Maywood. So on Sundays, they get together and they go out coupon shopping.
Mm-hmm. Seems to me that a possibility, if let's say there were a dozen businesses that were doing that kind of stuff, that therefore they could get into buying bigger items.
Right. You don't necessarily have to have a warehouse.
Right.
Lavonda, hers is in her basement.
Well, that's what
my sister is on the second floor. So basically, they use the space in their house to use as a store for emergency needs.
That's when
they bought a refrigerator. They bought a refrigerator. It could be delivered straight to the person who needs the refrigerator.
Right.
So there's no storage.
But that's why we said that we don't need a big facility. You just need multiple facilities that can have 10 units here, 100 units there, 1,000 units. You know, you don't need a big box place. So you're absolutely right.
Well, there's somebody we can actually start.
Yeah, we love to have them on and talk about what they're doing. So if you don't mind, have them tune in next week, Bella.
I'm gonna call her tonight when you end the show and put it on her mind to come on next Sunday.
Yeah.
I know they go. I don't know what time of the day they go shopping on Sunday for coupon. They do their coupon shopping on Sundays, but I will let her know. And now that the garden closed across the street, it ended last Thursday, so I don't have enough time to go over there to see if she'll come on.
That would be
nice.
great. That would be great.
Can you give
Good
us
start.
contact info?
That would be
Say that
great.
again.
Can you give us contact info?
I'm gonna ask her.
Yeah, and just call us up and let us know.
I'm pretty sure Steve North.
Oh, what's her name?
Lavonda Scott.
I think I know Lavonda.
She stays on Laurel. She stays on Laurel and West End.
Laurel and West End? I think I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, that's when she started way before the pandemic. She started teaching classes of coupon shopping.
Yeah.
And I have done a couple of them with her, and I have seen her. I just don't have the time to do it, but while she was sick and she was off in the post office, where she did coupon shopping. So I have seen her go to the store for that, and would get $100 worth of stuff. Right. And don't pay nothing but $5. So that's what they use to stock up the house
Mhm.
We definitely want to
So
talk
how
with
do
her.
people find out what the stuff she has?
She has on her, she has a website and, she's on Facebook and she keeps a list of the stuff that she wants. Cause basically, like if she have, toilet paper, and I know she get her toilet paper from the guys that make the black toilet paper and paper towel. So she'll keep a stock and then she get it every month. So she's with them where they deliver a case of paper towels and toilet paper to her house every month. And yeah, it can build up when you don't use enough, amount of toilet paper.
That's what we talking about. So we definitely want to tune in with what she's doing, what they're doing. All
So I
right.
can make that,
Yeah,
tonight.
that'll be great, girl. That'll be great. Well, let me just say
I'm
this.
planning on trying to do it myself next year. Well, the year coming here, I'm planning on doing it myself in the second floor apartment that I have empty.
Right. Sounds like a good plan, but we want to see what this all entails. We want to listen up and get her on, and so she can break it down to us, or or a friend, or even if you have more information. But I want to just bring this up before everybody leaves. Northwest Austin Council will be having a COVID clinic, vaccine clinic on Tuesday, November 30th, from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. They will be administering shots for 5 to 11-year-olds and anyone that needs the booster or their first and second shot. So anyone that needs the first and second shot, they will be able to get both, because we'll be having this clinic starting the first day, which is November 30th from 12 to 4. We'll have the next shot will be December 21st, same time, 12 to 4, and we'll be giving shots to all the kids that are in need of them, or that will be taking them from 5 to 11-year-old, and that will be Pfizer and whatever other shot they got for the booster. Okay,
Yeah, I think that's.
anything else? Anybody else? You didn't get Rose on
Well,
the line.
Steve, I just want to verify that
Say it again. I can't hear you, Kenny. Say it again. Hello. Just call me back.
He said, Hanukkah starts today.
Happy Hanukkah.
Oh, happy Hanukkah. What do you think?
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, man.
Stephen's greetings.
Caesar's greetings. There you go.
Yeah.
okay, and remember everybody that Bill having the birthday party next Friday.
Bill,
Yeah.
man, he the most birthday party man I know. He had 2 already this year, didn't
No, it's not next Friday, it's this Friday.
Where is that? Where's it gonna be?
This Friday coming up.
Where will it be?
Right. Okay, I don't even know.
We'll get there. We'll get
What
there.
is it? You said where would it be at?
Yes.
Yeah.
7117, West Ogden or Ogden and Harlem.
Okay.
Bill, he got off already?
I think
Yeah.
so.
7117 West Ogden.
It says 7117 West Island.
Ogden and Harlem.
Island in Harlem. That's where Bill will be having his birthday party next Friday.
Now,
evening.
what's on Ogden and Harlem? Because I'm visualizing that, and let's see, it's a White Castle right there, and it's like a medical building across the street from the White Castle. So
It's right behind
before
him.
you get to White Castle.
Right.
It's on the same side of the street where the White Castle at, but next to it.
Oh, okay.
On Ogden, going down Ogden though. All right, if there's no one else, we about to wrap it up. I mean,
God bless everybody.
yes indeed, God bless.
Everybody take care.
You got anything, DeAndre? Hold on, DeAndre gonna close
Oh
out.
yeah. Yeah, man. Listen, I love everything that I just heard, especially as we were wrapping up. And I'm gonna reiterate, the best way out of whatever we got going on in our communities is through ownership. Basic ownership of the things that we use, will take us so much further than we currently are. And that is how we have a real say. So whether it's tissue, whether it's soap, whether it's clothes, straws, whatever, food, we need to figure out how to get some piece of ownership in it so that we can benefit from where we spend our money at. That's the biggest thing that is a challenge for us is turning our mindset from becoming consumers to owners. And once we do that, I think we'll have everything that we're looking for in this life. But until we do that, we'll be struggling to keep up. So we do this every Sunday from 6 to 8. You know what I mean? There's various ways you can interact with the show, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or the Zoom. If you're on the Facebook or the YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. Commenting is the way that you can interact with the show the most, as you were able to see throughout the show. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, we are able to see the comments. We actually are able to put them up on the screen. You can read them live. For the people on the Zoom that can't see the comments, typically we read them off, so you kind of know what's going on anyway. But yeah, thank you all for just attending. Thank you all for all of for the brainstorming session. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for coming up and staying true. You know what I mean? And so, in closing, as I always like to say, man, listen, they didn't want to give us a seat at the table, so we created our own. Thank you for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.